Changes are always happening in the world around us. Changes can be of many types. Some changes are temporary, some changes are permanent. For example, when we stretch a rubber band, it goes back to its original shape when we let go. So, that is a temporary change. But when we burn a paper, it changes to ash forever. So, that change is permanent. Some changes are reversible, some changes are irreversible. Ice can change to liquid water and liquid water can change back to ice. So, that is a reversible change. What about the ripening of a fruit? It is not reversible. Some changes are fast, some are slow. Burning happens quickly. It's a fast change. What about turning milk into curd? That takes many hours. So comparatively, it's a slow change. Some changes are useful, some are harmful, some don't matter either way. Turning of milk into curd is a useful change. Rusting of iron is a harmful change. Some changes result in the formation of new substances, and in some changes, the substance remains as it is. For example, when we melt ice to form water, has the basic material changed? No, it's still water, though it appears to be different. When we burn paper, it turns into ash and smoke. Is ash the same material as paper? No, a different material is formed. So these are two different types of changes. In a physical change, the physical properties change. The change where no new substance is formed is called a physical change. What are physical properties? Things like the color, state of matter, smell, taste, density, etc. It is important to understand the difference between chemical and physical changes. Some changes are obvious, but there are some basic ideas you should know. Physical changes are usually about physical states of matter. In chemical changes, a new substance is created. When you step on a can and crush it, you have forced a physical change. Here, you only changed the shape of the can. What happens when you melt an ice cube? You have added heat energy to raise the temperature and melt it. However, the substance still hasn't changed. The water is still water. So, you have a physical change. What happens when you dissolve sugar in water? The sugar is still sugar and the water is still water even if they mix with each other. So, it's still a physical change. What happens when you burn a sugar cube? Fire and air reacts with the sugar. It forms carbon and water vapor. There is no sugar left behind. It changes into a different substance. So, burning of a sugar cube is a chemical change. Iron rusts when it is exposed to oxygen gas in the air. You can watch the process happen over a long period of time. The molecules change their structure as the iron is oxidized, eventually becoming iron oxide, which is rust. Rust is not iron. Rust is a different substance that is formed because of a reaction. So rusting of iron is a chemical change. We can burn a magnesium ribbon. You can see a bright light that it makes when it burns. behind ash. The ash looks nothing like the magnesium ribbon. Here is the reaction to show you what happens. Mg plus O2 is equal to MgO. What kind of change is this? Physical or chemical? Well, we start with two substances and end up with a completely different substance. So this is a chemical change. Take some copper sulfate and add some water to it to make it a solution. It's blue in color. Add some drops of dilute sulfuric acid to it. Take some of this and keep it in a beaker. Drop some iron article like a shaving blade into the solution and wait. In half an hour, the solution changes color. The blue solution turns green. Is this magic? It's science. There is a reaction between copper sulfate and iron. Compare this solution to the one you've kept aside. It looks different. That's because the green substance formed is iron sulfate. So a new substance is formed. Check the blade too. There is something brown on the blade. That's copper.